Someone who's trying to change that dynamic is Judicial Watch. In fact, they're suing to not only find out more information about what Mr. doing, but what he had been up to in the run-up to the impeachment dealings. And here to discuss is president of Judicial Watch, author, New York Times bestseller of Clean House, Tom Fitton. You can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fitton. Tom, it's good to have you back. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to Kevin McCullough Radio.
Thank you, Kevin, and Happy New Year to you.
So you guys are, and this is what Judicial Watch does. You do it better than anybody else, but you get in and you get the FOIAs set up, and you go and you find stuff out. Do you have any idea of what you think you may be able to find out if you get access to the paperwork that you've sued for Mr.
Well, everyone's pretending not to know, although we don't know for sure whether he is the Schiff leaker or not. But either way, he was a CIA detailee to the Obama White House and the Trump White House. He worked on Ukraine. We know he visited with those involved in the Ukraine scandal while he was at the White House because we looked at the documents and disclosed that. And so we want more information. So we asked the CIA for his emails for a limited period of time. Of course, we got him the runaround. And similarly, he had also been involved, incredibly, although not surprisingly, given his alleged conduct, with Russiagate and potentially being involved in the dissemination of the classified contents of the call between the President of the United States and the Foreign Minister. We're describing a meeting, contents of a description of a meeting between the President of the United States and Russia's Foreign Minister and his ambassador.
So here's a guy that you've already pieced together at least some pretty spiny roots that dig down into the two biggest issues that have turned out to be, in large perspective from where I sit, frauds on the American people: Russia collusion and the Ukraine impeachment. Once you get these documents, if there is in fact a wrongful interpretation of what Mr. looking at, or how he applied what he was looking at to file this complaint, is there any recourse for the president or for the country or for the voters who have been put through this excruciating 3.5-year distraction from everything necessary to run the government?
Well, we need the full details of how he got the information. Let's say whoever this person is, how it is he received the information about the phone call. Was it classified, and did he properly communicate that classified information to people either in the CIA, with other agencies in government, or as we now are talking about, the Schiff Pelosi Coup Cabal in the House? And if that was improperly done, then there are legal ramifications, both civil and criminal, for those involved. And so we're going to start asking, and we're asking questions about what went on. It's pretty clear cut. Now, the left doesn't want anyone to ask questions about this effort to remove the president. The Senate's afraid to ask the questions, but Judicial Watch isn't.
Right. Let me ask your perspective. What do you think would be a healthier plan of action for the Senate, to go into a full trial and to call everybody under the sun, or to look at the circumstantial style of evidence that they have and say it doesn't meet the merit of what we would deem necessary to hold the impeachment trial and dismiss it with a quick vote? What do you think is the best thing for the voters of America to be exposed to?
Well, I run hot and cold on this. I want some accountability. On the other hand, there should be no abuse of there should be no further abuse of the president. There should be no trial, as is normally understood, based on this sham impeachment. This is a coup attack. It's not valid. It's illicit. They should not get the benefit of a full trial. If there's going to be any examination of any activities by the Senate, it should be a preliminary fashion into what Schiff was doing, not only with the whistleblower, prosecutorial misconduct of his also getting the phone records of the president. That's what ought to be at issue. But a full-blown trial is just gives the Coup Cabal everything they want, which is further abuse of the president.
Well, and you know that's
further undermine the Constitution of the Republic.
And that's Schumer's goal then, of course. Obviously, he's going to push for the full trial. Do you think it's conceivable that
he doesn't want a full trial? He wants a partial trial. He wants a trial that brings in witnesses that he sees as anti-Trump, but protects him and his allies from any witnesses that would be adverse against them, like Hunter Biden or Adam Schiff and the whistleblower or other people.
Well, and to be candid, I don't think there's any snowball's chance in where that Lindsey Graham lets that happen. So I kind of think that.
Well, we don't know. I suspect if there are witnesses, the way this is why I oppose a trial. If there are witnesses, there will only be anti-Trump witnesses. I suspect that will be the case.
Well, and that's part of the point that I think a lot of people have made. The president has been severely underrepresented in this case from the very beginning, and deserves an actual chance to clear his name. Although it doesn't seem like history allows that once we've gone down this path. There's been a lot of debate about whether or not Nancy is going to send the articles. What's your hunch? You deal with lawyers in your office every day. What's your hunch as to what you think she's actually going to do?
Oh, I don't know what she's planning to do. My guess is they want to delay this as much as they can and maybe just have impeachment in perpetuity of the President of the United States as opposed to any resolution. I think the Senate, though, is going to countenance that in the long run or even in the medium run. And they're just going to take up the issue and deal with it.